by First thing I saw was a post, but B, a discussion off the post. And it was pretty much saying, and we did allude to this before. It was one of those things that we talked about, and it was incremental gains. The fact that A, is it better? B, is it a better outcome? The importance, the positive, if there are negatives in trying to go 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, up until you get to the 100 mark, as opposed to just trying to go 0 to 100.
Right. So I would say, in my opinion, it depends on where you are in life, right? And it's more of a perception thing. I know a lot of people out there see somebody who might be a business owner or something. It happens to me all the time. And, I'm about 3.5 years deep now. Let me think. No, 4.5 years deep. Man, that's crazy. And people are like,
take a blink, you blink.
Oh yeah. But it's going smooth. But I'm taking small steps, like you mentioned, right? And there's some people who are very close to me who are like, well, how come you haven't left your job yet? Or, this is that and the third. And I'm like, well, it's not that I don't want to, but I'm not ready yet. Right. And they think just for the fact that I've started a business, I should have been out like month 2. Right?
Everybody goes for the end product of it all.
Yeah. And that's my point. You can't, how do I want to say this? You can't look at somebody and judge where they should be in their life when you have no idea what's going on. Right? They have no idea what the numbers of my business are. They have no idea what the struggles of my business are, which with any business, there are going to be struggles. There's going to be problems. So it's hard for me to look them in the face and give them an answer when they don't really know what I'm talking about.
It's a bit of naiveness. Oh, you have your own business? Bang. Well, why aren't you in a mansion yet? And why do you still have a normal job?
Rich.
Yeah, like, how are you not rich? You started a business yesterday. Like, how is this not, how you not on Forbes yet? Same thing with relationships. Like, oh, you're in a relationship. It must be daffodils and rainbows. Meanwhile, nobody sees the work that goes into it.
Right. So if you are in a position like I am, you are taking your time, learning as you go, and not trying to rush into things, because as you learn, you understand that if you rush it, you'll fail. And failure isn't a bad thing, to some extent, because you can learn from your failures. But when you have a good thing and it can work, you want to take it slowly so it does work, right? If you have a huge team around you and you can push it like Zuckerberg did, is that how you pronounce his name? Zuckerberg. And he was more of a push till it breaks type of dude, but then he had a bunch of people who around him who could fix those things. I don't have that. I'm doing this on my own. So if something breaks, like a lot more things are going to break. So I can't risk that, chain reaction of things, having my business fall apart.
It is easier to take over a country with an army than, yourself running around.
Right.
So, yeah, that's definitely understand on that aspect. But you know what, though? It's how do you want to do this? Either way, and I was saying this a couple podcasts before, like the good way, the bad way, the struggle, the laziness, it's all hard. Pick your hard. But if you're going to do it, you have to do it right. So like what you said, you're going 0 to 10, 10 to 20, because you're setting it up for the marathon. It's a long, It's a long haul to get there. And, I'm trying to do what I do after you're trying to do what you do. So you're further along than I am. And I find myself still like, because you want to get there. That's a good thing that you want to get there. Like, you have that, you have that get up and go, but okay, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6. And even though those gains are okay, I'm at 30 now, 0 to 10, 10 to 20. I'm still I have another 70 to go. But the person that tries to go 0 to 100, it's rare that they make it. They lack a lot of things that you need for the long haul.
Yeah, yeah. You have to have patience. You have to be willing to take it as it comes, but on the other end, push through the areas where you're not comfortable. Okay, but that doesn't mean rushing. That means when you find an area that doesn't make you comfortable, but you see on the other end of that or through that uncomfortability that that's probably where you want to be, you have to, hit up against that barrier until it breaks. But that could take some time. A lot of people think that, like I said, you should get through this a lot quicker, but those are also the people who've never done it before. You talk to someone who's been successful in their business, and they'll tell you, well, I didn't really hit my stride until year 10. No one knew about me until year 10, right? So I'm not even halfway there. So knowing that and having, mentors and things like that, I'm comfortable where I'm at. It's not where I want to be, but I'm comfortable where I'm at because I know it's part of the process.
Goes back to the patience, the goal in mind, the light at the end of the tunnel. And it is one of those things. Like, you have to be, it's a chess game. It's not checkers. You're not flying all over the board. Like, you have to, while still think you're steps ahead of you and 12 steps ahead of you. And even then, the game changes and you have to adapt. So that 8-year plan made to perfection would have been 8 years. But now, hiccups happen, life happens. So now it's an 11-year plan. Do you plan on still going into the grind of doing it all? And it's one of those things that people don't understand. Like, that is the little things that are major factors, like the determination, like the patience, like the not getting frustrated through it all. And it's funny because for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, I hit a stride. I hit a good momentum, going strong for the longest period that I've ever was. All right, horse blinders on. I find I'm in the midst of low tide. I feel like I'm in a bit of a low tide right now. And it made me wonder because I've been in neutral a long time. But then I hit the highway, I hit the highway. And now I pulled over for a minute and I found myself in a bit of unknown territory. So I guess I'll pose this to you. It's not a quitting thing. It's not a I'm stopping thing. It's a low tide. So momentum is one of the most important factors in those lists. Like, it's so important. Momentum is so important. It's on the art of war. Like, that is key, is to ride the momentum. And I think I have been for a while. And like you said, we all want to be somewhere else, but good where I'm at. So the progress I was making was pretty solid. I find now, I'm like week 2.5, week 3, and I find myself in it's not complacency, because I know it's gotta get back on the highway, but this momentum just kind of came to a stop next to me. Like, I rolled down my window, momentum's next to me. Like, yeah, what's up, man? Like, we got a gas? Like, what's up? So you still in the midst of it and still in the middle of it are further along than I am, and further along than other people, and some people are a little bit further along. But where do you have you found yourself in that position that, okay, we stormed the beaches, we are now making our way through the land, okay, hold on, now here comes some resistance and we need to take cover for a minute and figure this out?
Yeah. I would say the best example I could give for that is when COVID hit. I didn't know how it was going to affect my business, which but for anyone listening who doesn't know, I own a commercial cleaning company. And, it was a little nerve-wracking to think about how much work I was going to have to put in to make sure that, all the regulations were being followed, all the CDC guidelines were being followed, making sure that our level of service was not just up to par, but went above and beyond expectations. So we weren't losing customers through this. For a business owner in that industry to think the way I would, that's a perfect time to cherry pick off small companies who aren't doing what they need to do.
Right.
Right. And you can bet that customers were looking, right? I need to have the best of the best right now. My employees deserve it. We need it. You need to be safe. So I got to have the best of the best. So I would imagine that there's a lot of, mom and pop small shops out there that just folded up because they couldn't handle it, So I went slow. I made sure that my current customers were taken care of first and foremost before I went looking for anything additional. A lot of them asked me to come more often, and it was what it was. But I was willing to go slow through it to make sure that my customers, my people, were good, right? But that's part of the game. You got to be willing to take the punches as they come. You got to be willing to study and learn throughout whatever it is that's trying to knock your door down, and that's kind of where I was at.
Okay. So again, I guess a patience thing. All right. So let's say a couple key factors then when that happened was pretty much still doing your homework, maintaining a level of patience, and just going back to the drawing board. Sometimes, that lull gives you a moment to reevaluate. Mm-hmm. So, I see the benefits of that. All right. I gotta shake off this little, get back on the highway, man. And that's the thing though. Yeah. I know I do. It's not like okay, we're gonna pull back in the crib and go watch some Netflix now. Like, it's like, all right, I gotta get back on that highway, but damn, man.
And by the way, that's okay. Right? That's okay. If you feel like that's the place you're at right now, sometimes we need a break. You have to imagine, for a person who has a small business, a full-time job, a family of 5, my newest child now is only 3 months old. Like, sometimes I need a break, bro. Sometimes I just need a break, right?
Yeah,
and,
I bet.
I'll have people in my life ask me like, well, how many customers do you have now? I'm like, what does that even mean to you? Why are you asking me that question? Yeah. It's not going to change your life one way or the other. I promise.
All right. No,
but people are nosy. and me giving them that information is neither here nor there. You know what I mean? They just, I feel, want to be in my business somehow. Like, and I don't mean my actual business, but be in what's going on in my life.
People want to be in some type of know, just to be able to tell somebody else. Makes them brings the importance of themselves up.
Yeah. And I found myself now, when people ask me, oh, how's the business going? I was like, it's cool.
Still there.
Yeah. We're chugging along. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Yeah, that's the fear. That's the follow-up. Don't worry about it. Like, unless my name is on your check and we have a problem with your hours, don't worry about it. Yeah.
Like, you want to help? No? All right. Well, yeah, I'm good though.
I'm good.
I got some other people I can call on.
Then I'm good. We're done. I'm good. We're done. Peace. How we going? Any other questions about my life other than that? We can talk. All right. So you know what? It all kind of goes together, man. So I was having this talk with this girl back in New York, and we were just conversating on cool peoples, and we're talking. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just stuck in this little 2-3 week lull. Like I'm like, but I know I have to do what I have to do. I'm like, I'm kind of not disappointed in myself, but so I follow a lot of people that draw inspiration to me.
Okay.
So, and even then, I kind of just I hit the pause button on listening to all of them. Like, I just kind of had to get off the highway for a minute, and I found myself here, but I follow the likes of Jocko and
I haven't heard of him.
ex-Navy SEAL, all around good dude, Follow on
Okay.
on Instagram, YouTube, motivational, very on the motivational side, but on a military mindset of it.
Mhm.
So, he's big on, if there's one thing you should procrastinate it on, is taking days off. Like, go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And the other one is David Goggins. You heard of Goggins?
Yeah, I read his book.
I have the book. I haven't read it yet. I'm stuck on another book, making my way to Goggins. I know the story of Goggins. I just want to see the actual written story on it, because I know a lot about Goggins, and holy shit, he's an animal. Like, I look at them guys and I'm like, I get mad at myself because I look at me, pulled over on the highway. And again, we could all go harder. Like, we can all, whatever we think we're doing, we know we can step it up. There's always room to step it up. And here I am, not even on like Autobahn speed. I'm just like at 75 cruising, and I get off. And I see, the Goggins, the Jockos, and they're just like, I just picture them looking at me like, why are you stopping? Like, what are you stopping for?
But here's the point, though. They know why you're stopping, because they had to go through it themselves. They've stopped, right?
Fair.
The reason they're able to do what they're doing is because they learned the lessons they needed to learn, and decided to push through it, and decided to take action, and decided to keep going. And they still hit a wall, and they decided to keep going. Right? But you gotta also understand that they're further along in their lives, right? I don't know how old David Goggins is, but I would assume that he's probably at least 10 years older than I am. Right? That's 10 years more experience he's got.
I would say, yeah. I'd probably say around there.